Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Xobin Talks, where we bring together industry leaders, HR experts, and business professionals to discuss the ideas, strategies, and people practices shaping the future of work. I'm your host, Nikita, and today we have a very special guest with us. Joining us is Sayon Hem, a seasoned HR leader, corporate trainer, and strategic HR business partner with over 20 years of experience across industries including FMCG, retail, international organizations, and food and beverages. Sayon brings deep expertise in leadership development, talent acquisition, learning and development, coaching, and organizational transformation. Sayon, welcome to Zabin Talks. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Yes, thank you for having me for this show.
To begin with, we would love to understand your journey. You have spent over 20 years helping organizations build people capabilities and leadership excellence. What initially inspired you to pursue a career in HR and leadership development? And as you have grown through different industries and roles, how has your perspective on people management evolved over the years?
Yes, thank you very much, Nika. Thanks for having me. So my journey into HR and leadership development started from a deep interest in people and organizational growth. Early in my career, I realized that business is not driven only by products, by technology or strategy. It is driven by people. And I became passionate about helping individuals to unlock their potential while supporting organizations to build strong cultures and sustainable performance. Over the past 20 years, my perspective has evolved significantly. HR is not longer just an administrative or support function. Today, HR must act as a strategic business partner, change leader, culture builder, and talent architect. The modern workforce expects purpose, flexibility, growth, and meaningful leadership. At the same time, organizations are navigating rapid change, digital transformation, and global uncertainty. This had made human capital management more critical than ever before. I have also learned that leadership is not about authority, it is about influence, empathy, adaptability, and changing environment where people can thrive even during uncertainty.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sayon. It's always fascinating to hear how experiences across different industries shapes a leader's perspective on people and business. Now, let's move on to the broader business landscape. Organizations today are navigating constant change and uncertainty, which brings me to my next question. The modern business environment is often described as VUCA: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Organizations are dealing with economic shifts, technological disruptions, changing workforce expectations, and global uncertainties all at once. From your experience working across different industries, what do you see as the biggest challenge organizations are facing today? And how can HR leaders prepare their teams to navigate this level of uncertainty effectively?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is managing change fatigue. Employees today are constantly adapting to new technology, restructuring, market shift, and evolving business expectation. This creates stress, uncertainty, and disengagement if organizations are not careful. To me, another challenge is attracting and retaining talent. Employees now prioritize their career growth, flexibility, well-being, and organizational culture as much as compensation. Another thing is organizations that fail to create a meaningful employee experience often struggle with retention. Leadership capability is also a crucial issue. Many managers were promoted based on technical skill, but the woodcut will require leaders who can communicate clearly, manage ambiguity, coach team, and lead with emotional intelligence. Finally, there is a growing skill gap. The future of work requires digital fluency, critical thinking, collaboration, adaptability, and continuous learning. Organizations must invest aggressively in upskilling and reskilling their workforce to remain in this competitive world.
Those are some very valuable insights. I think many leaders listening to this will relate to the challenges you have highlighted. Building on that thought, let's talk about how organizations can proactively prepare for the future through their people strategies. So, Seon, you have worked closely with organizations of different sizes and across multiple sectors. In your view, what are the key human capital management strategies that organizations must prioritize today if they want to remain resilient, competitive, and future ready? And perhaps more importantly, how should organizations balance short term business goals with long term people development?
Yes, thank you for a very good question. I think organizations need to focus on several key human capital management strategies. First, they must build an agile workforce. This means creating adaptable teams, encouraging cross-functional collaboration, and developing employees who can learn and pivot quickly. Second, leadership development must become a strategic priority. Organizations need leaders at every level who can strike change, inspire people, and make decisions in uncertain environments. Third, organizations should invest heavily in learning and development. Continuous learning is no longer optional. It is essential for survival. Employees must continuously upgrade their skill to meet changing business demand. Fourth, employee well-being and engagement should be treated as business priorities. Burnout, disengagement, and mental stress directly impact productivity and retention. Organizations that genuinely care for employees build stronger trust and performance. Fifth, human capital specialists must become more data-driven and technology-enabled. Workforce analytics, AI-powered HR system, and digital learning platform can help organizations make smarter talent decisions while improving efficiency. Most importantly, organizations must create a culture of trust, innovation, accountability, and adaptability. Culture is the foundation that enables resilience during uncertainty.
Absolutely. It's clear that people strategy is no longer separate from business strategy. They need to work hand in hand. With that in mind, let's shift our focus to leadership because ultimately, leaders play a critical role in bringing these strategies to life. So, Seon, leadership today goes far beyond managing tasks and monitoring performance. Employees increasingly expect leaders to provide clarity, empathy, coaching, and vision. In a rapidly changing world, what qualities define an effective leader today? And how can organizations intentionally develop these leadership qualities from within rather than relying solely on external hiring?
Yes, I really love that question. To me, I think effective leaders today must be adaptable, emotional intelligent, strategic, and people-centered. Technical expert alone is no longer enough. As a strong leader must communicate clearly during uncertainty, inspire confidence, and create psychological safety where employees feel comfortable sharing ideas and concerns. Empathy has become one of the most important leadership qualities because employees want leaders who genuinely understand and support them. Leaders who also need learning agility. The agility is the ability to continuously learn, unlearn, and relearn. In the VUCA world, leaders cannot rely only on past experiences because the environment changes too quickly. Organizations can develop this capability by creating structured leadership development programs, coaching initiative, mentoring system, action learning project, and succession planning framework. Leadership development should not only focus on technical competency, but also on mindset, emotional intelligence, communication, and strategic thinking. Additionally, organizations should create opportunity for emerging leaders to lead across functional projects and navigate real business challenges. Experience is one of the best leadership teachers.
Thank you for sharing that. I particularly like your point about developing leaders from within because sustainable leadership pipelines are becoming important. And one thing that's becoming increasingly clear is that leaders today are expected to manage not only people, but also technology driven change. Now,
Yes.
let's move on to another major force shaping organization today, which is technology and AI. So, here's my next question to you. Technology and AI are transforming nearly every aspect of HR. While these tools are create tremendous opportunities, many organizations worry about losing the human touch. How can organizations adopt technology effectively while still maintaining strong human connection, trust, and employee engagement?
Well, I think technology should enhance the employee experience, not replace human connection. AI and digital tools can improve efficiency in recruitment, learning, and performance tracking. Also, workforce analytics. They help organizations make faster and more informed decisions. However, organizations must remember that employee will still value empathy, recognition, communication, and authentic leadership. And the key is balancing high tech with high touch. For example, AI can automate administrative tasks, but managers or leaders still need meaningful conversation with their employees. Digital learning platform can provide flexibility, but coaching and mentoring remain essential for development. Organizations should also ensure that technology adoption is human-centered. Employees need proper communication, training, and support during digital transformation. If technology creates fear or confusion, then engagement will decrease. Ultimately, technology should free leaders and HR professionals to spend more time focusing on people, culture, innovation, and strategic growth.
That's a great reminder that while technology may accelerate processes, people remain at the center of every successful organization. And when we talk about helping people succeed, one theme consistently emerges, that is continuous learning, which
Of
brings
course.
us to the next question. You are deeply passionate about coaching and developing leaders. As skills evolve rapidly and workplaces' expectations continue to shift, how important are continuous learning and adaptability for both employees and leaders? And what practical steps can organizations take to create a culture where learning becomes a natural part of everyday work rather than an occasional initiative?
Well, as a professional people developer, I think continuous learning and adaptability are absolutely essential. In fact, they are becoming the most important and competitive advantages for both individuals and organizations. The future of work is changing faster than ever due to digital transformation, AI, globalization, and shifting workforce expectation. The skills that are relevant today may become outdated within a few years. Employees and leaders who stop learning risk becoming irrelevant. Adaptability is equally critical because change is now constant. People must be willing to embrace new ideas, technology, and ways of working. Organizations that build a strong learning culture will be far more resilient and innovative. For leaders, I think especially continuous learning helps them remain relevant, make better decisions, and lead with confidence during uncertainty. Leaders who demonstrate curiosity and learning agility also inspire their team to grow. Finally, I believe that learning should not be seen as an event. It should become a lifelong mindset and part of organizational culture.
Wonderful insight, Sion. This has been an incredibly insightful discussion. Before we wrap up, let's lighten things up with a quick rapid fire round. I'll ask a few questions and you can answer with the very first thought that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
All right. One leadership skill every manager must master today.
I think one of the important thing is about emotional intelligence to me, yes.
Employee experience or business performance? What drives long term success?
Personally, I think employee experience drives sustainable business performance.
One workplace trend organizations should pay more attention to.
Of course, I think skill-based workforce development is very crucial that we should pay more attention to.
What's one common mistake leaders make during transformation initiative?
Of course, I think poor communication is one of that. Yeah.
Fantastic. That was really fun. As we come to the end of today's conversation, I would like to ask one final question before we conclude. What's one message or piece of advice you would like to leave with HR professionals, leaders, and business executives who are preparing for the future of work?
Yeah, I think as a HR leader, I think we should stay adaptable. We should be more strategic, and finally, we should be people focused.
Thank you so much, Sayon, for joining us today for Xobin Talks, sharing your experiences, insights, and practical advices with us. I'm confident our listeners will walk away with valuable ideas they can apply within their own organizations and careers. And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to follow Zobin Talks for more discussions. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and continue building workplaces where people and performance grow together. I'm Nikita, and this is Zobin Talks. See you in the next episode.
Okay, thank you, Nita. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye on.